Hello, yogis. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a class. So just some news to share that I'm expecting in August. So it's been a little hard to get my daily practice in, as well as just teaching. It's a little different online, as if I was teaching you guys face to face. It's really easy to do modifications that I can't do, but it's been a little hard to do that online. So I do apologize for that. However, I know how important it is to stick with our routine, and I know I've been very guilty of falling out of it, just because of, everything that's been changing. I'm going to be doing a happy hips lesson today. I don't know if it'll be quite the full hour, but I would like to do one with you guys, and hopefully I'll be able to start adding modifications, just for, to expand it further for things I won't be able to do in a little while. It's easy for me to follow and do modifications. It's a little harder to teach it with a different body right now. So let's hopefully you can join me. So today I'll be using a bolster and a block for the class. So we'll get started here. So set it up on a nice ramp. There's different heights that you can set it in. So you can put it on high, you can put it on medium, it just kind of depends. I like it on the higher setting for this one. Sometimes it feels like it's unstable for people, so if that doesn't feel good, then you can definitely move it to a different location. So we're just going to start laying on our backs. So just allow the chest to open. Knees can be feet together. You can also straighten your legs if that feels better. I find I just get a little bit more of a relaxation state and a little bit of a spinal stretch in this posture. So we're just going to start here today. Of course, if you don't have a bolster, you can just lay flat on your back. That option's there for you as well. Let's see if I can play music on my phone. Actually, I'm just gonna leave the music off. If I post it on YouTube, which is easier, they don't like music on it, so we'll just go. So I encourage you to play your own music if you'd like. And just start to getting into your breathing. I find laying on your back is just so nice to be able to inhale through your belly. Just start to really feel that inhale and exhale. Good. Now for most of you guys, I'd recommend taking your bolster away from you, so that you'll just be laying flat on your back. I'm just going to show you my modified version. So we're going to take our figure 4 position. So lift that right leg up, cross it over your left leg, and make that figure 4, flexing into that right foot to protect the knee. And then if you can, maybe grabbing onto the back of your thigh, maybe even your shin, and pulling towards you. So what I want you to focus on is actively pushing your right leg away from you and your left knee towards you to deepen that hip stretch. Again, remember, if your right knee is starting to come in, just actively rotate it away from you so that you get deeper into that hip, maybe even the glute. Good. And then release your hands, keep your legs just as they are, and we're going to go into a twist. So if you're so we're going to take our right foot and just bring it all the way down to the ground. So you might not be able to get that foot to the ground. Just place a block underneath your foot. If that's the case, Feels very, very different in this elevated position and not being able to lay on my back in yoga. So I'm trying to be creative with my teaching so that I can still participate with you guys. If you want a deeper stretch, take that left hand, grab onto that right ankle, bring it closer towards your body. And then notice where your right knee is it starting to cave in. See if you can start to push it out to really deepen that stretch. Awesome. Bring yourself up. Release that foot. Take some windshield wipers if that feels okay. And then reset. So lift that left leg up, flex that foot. And then cross that leg over, making that figure 4 position. That's why I'm going to go in the medium setting. There we go. And then again, just pick what feels good for you. Now, I forgot to mention, it might just feel good here. Right, this might be enough of a stretch for you. If you want a little bit more, taking those thighs, or taking those hands through that little hole you made with your legs. Again, maybe grabbing onto your thigh or maybe even your shin. If you notice on your posture that your shoulders are off the ground, you're probably taking it a little too deep. So try to relax your shoulders. Maybe you can get your shoulder blades on the ground. And if you can't, just take a little, take your hands closer towards you. So maybe instead of your shin, bringing them to your thigh. Or the other option would be to use a strap and put it underneath your leg. And remember, actively turning that right leg away from you. Keeping your legs as they are, twisting over to the right side so that left ankle goes down to the ground. And remember, if you want a deeper stretch, grab your right hand to your left ankle, bring it closer towards your body, and then actively pushing your right or left knee up towards the sky instead of letting it cave in towards the ground. And then coming back to center, so take some windshield wipers. Good, and then taking your props to the side and warming up with some cat-cows. So coming into our tabletop position. All right, hands stacked underneath those shoulders. Exhale, look towards the ground, or maybe even past the ground, look towards your belly button. Inhale, looking up to the sky and to our cow. Exhale, push the ground away, really round those shoulders, create space between your shoulder blades. Inhale up towards the sky. Exhale, push the ground away. Inhale up towards the sky. Exhaling. Inhaling. And then back to center. Let's look at a cat looking at its tail. So on your exhale, look over your right shoulder. Bring your right hip towards your right rib. See if you can actually look at your tail on that right side. Come back to center. Let's go over to the left side. Inhale to center. Exhale to look. Inhale to center. Exhale to look. And then coming back into our center, bring your legs into a wide-legged child's pose, and then just leaning back into our child's pose. So your choice. And arms, if you want a little bit of a tricep stretch, bend those arms and bring them against your back with your pinkies together. That's an option for you. Maybe you just want to keep your hands extended. And then bring yourself up into your tabletop position. Walk your hands slightly forward, untuck those toes, send your hips up, downward facing dog. So you can walk out that dog if that feels good. And then bend those knees, shoot that tailbone up towards the sky. Really push the ground away from you, get that flat back, and make sure you keep this flat back. And if it feels good, you can start to bring your heels towards the ground. If you notice that you start to lose that integrity in your back, just keep those knees bent. We're so fixed on getting our heels to the ground, and I've accepted I'm probably never gonna get there, and that's okay. That's just how my body is. Good. Looking forward, bring yourself to the front of your mat. Hands on your shins, lengthen to inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. And hands through to heart center. Good. Let's take some warm-up poses. So inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale to fold. Hands on the shins, lengthen to inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, feet come to the back of your mat, find your plank. Let's go back a bit more. So find that plank position. And then dropping to the knees, untuck the toes. Slowly exhale, bring your chest and your hips to the ground at the same time. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Let's take 3 to warm up. Inhale to your cobra. Weight out of your hands. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Tabletop position, downward facing dog. So again, you can walk out that dog if you still need it, or you can find some stillness. Looking forward, bring yourself to the front of your mat, lengthening as you inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep those hands all the way up, and hands through to heart center. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale to fold. Hands on your shins, lengthen to inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, feet come to the back, find your plank position. Good, hold strong in that plank, engage your quads. Lift those kneecaps, engage your core, knees drop. Slowly bring your chest down to the ground, hips at the same time. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale through to tabletop, downward facing dog. Reset. Taking 5 full and complete inhales and exhales. Remember, you can always go into a child's pose or a tabletop if this is too much for you. Remember to push the ground away, lengthen your spine, not dumping into the posture. Maybe even hugging your elbows in so that your shoulders are engaged as well. Looking forward, bring yourself to the front of your mat, lengthen as you inhale, exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, and hands through to heart center. Good. Inhale, sweep those hands up. Exhale, take your fold. Hands on your shins, lengthen to inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, feet come to the back, find your plank position. Now you can drop to your knees or you can go with me with the full vinyasa. So if you're taking the full vinyasa with your chaturanga, start to lean forward so that your shoulders are a little bit past or in line with your fingertips rather than your wrists. Slowly exhale to that hover. Inhale, upward facing dog, hips off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking forward, bring yourself to the front of your mat, lengthening on your inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up, and hands through to heart center. Good. I'm just gonna place it down a bit. All right. Good. Coming up to the front. Inhale, sweep those hands up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant those hands. Feet come to the back. Find your plank. And then taking your right leg, let's go to the three-legged dog. So start to lift your right leg to the sky. Drop your right hip, square them out. Flex your foot, so toes towards the ground. I just have socks on today because I'm slippery without them. And then exhale, hug your knee towards your chest, come forward into your plank. Lift it up if you need to tap it down, of course you can. Inhale back up, let's do 3. Exhale, hug your knee into your chest, come to a hover plank. Inhale up. Exhale, bring it all the way up towards your chest. Really push the ground away, round, round, round. See if you can bring your knee up to your belly button. Maybe even you can touch your nose. Lift, 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 and then place it down between those hands. Walk your left hand in, inhale, right hand to the sky, twist it out. Of course, use a block if you need. If you need to drop that back leg, you can always do that as well if you need that for balance. Good, walk that hand down. Now spread your fingers wide, really press the ground away from you. Connect your knee and your chest, or your thigh and your chest, and squeeze that knee up, 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 so that you can just slide that right foot back, three-legged dog. Good, bring that right hip up towards the sky, start to stack your hips, bend your right knee, see if you can kick your bum, and then coming back into your shoulders, square them off. So drop your right shoulder. It's probably coming up. And you can keep it here if you'd like to flip over to Wild Things. Start to bring that right foot all the way back so you catch yourself. Pushing into that left arm. Reaching forward with that right hand. Or backwards, depending on how you look at it. All right, put your weight back into your left foot. Bring yourself back into the three-legged dog. Exhale, come forward. You can keep that leg up if you want for your chaturanga, or drop it down and drop to your knees, your choice. Exhale, come forward. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Left leg up to the sky. So drop that left hip. Keep them square rather than angling your hips out. Doesn't matter how high you go. I want you to focus on keeping those hips square. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Now push the ground away. Really try to bring that left knee up towards your chest. Hollow it out. High, 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 so you can just slide it down between those hands. Good. Walk your right hand in, left hand to the sky. Again, you can drop that right knee if you need to. Try to pull your left hip back, right hip forward. And then drop that left hand, spread your fingers nice and wide. Really connect that thigh with your chest. Start to push the ground away so that you can just slide that left foot back and coming into your three-legged dog. Now stack that left hip on top of your right, bend your left knee, try to get your left foot to touch your bum. Drop the left shoulder. And you can keep it here, or you can start to kick that left leg back so much so that it comes to the ground, finding your wild thing. And flipping back into our three-legged dog. And then shifting forward, maybe dropping that leg, maybe dropping to your knees. Take your vinyasa. Inhaling it up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a child's pose. I'm noticing my breathing's a little heavier. Just carrying not used to adding a little bit extra weight, so I'm definitely feeling it in my wrists, which is why it's so important to keep up with my practice. Not lose that. All right, so from here, coming back up into your tabletop position, find your downward facing dog. And then look to the front of your mat. Lengthen as you inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhaling it up. And hands to the heart center. Good. Now it's a little hard to see the full body in here, but I like the close-up on the feet. All right, let's go into chair pose. So let's do our Surya Namaskar B. So toes together, heels slightly apart. So the class doesn't need to see me. All right, toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, Utkatasana. So tuck your pelvis and just slide your back down. Take a look. You should be able to see your toes, so weight in your heels. Relax your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Take your fold. Hands on your shins, lengthen to inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, feet come to the back, find your plank. Find your plank. You can either shift to down dog or you can take a vinyasa, your choice, either from your knees or your toes. Gonna take advantage of all the toe ones that I can still do. It's a little easier on my belly for now. Good. Drop your right heel in, left foot comes forward. Sweep your hands up, warrior one. So pressing that left shin forward. Keeping your right pinky toes rooted into the mat. Good. Start to bring your hands down towards the ground. Slide that left foot back. And you can either stay in down dog or take a vinyasa. You can choose to keep that left leg lifted, or you can drop those knees, of course. Or wait for everybody in the dog. Good, left heel drops in, right foot comes forward. Inhale, warrior one. So left pinky toe into the mat, right knee pressing forward. Exhale, bring those hands down to the ground. Sweep that right foot back. Again, you can go to the dog, or you can take your version of a vinyasa. Wading into the dog, taking a few breaths here. Looking forward, bring yourself to the front of your mat. Hands on your shins, lengthen as you inhale. Exhale to fold, toes together, heels slightly apart, come up into the chair. So really bring that bum low, take those fingertips, sweep them. Try to keep your bum as low as you can still. Come up into your chair, and then all the way up, and find a Tadasana. Good. It's getting a lot harder to teach and say the words as I'm doing them, so it's so much easier just to be in the class where you can walk around and not have to do the poses as much. All right, let's go again. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, take the fold. Hands on your shins, lengthen to inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, feet come to the back, find your plank. You can either take a down dog or you can take a vinyasa of your choice. Good. Left heel drops in, right foot comes forward. Inhale, warrior one. Hands to heart center, let's open up, warrior two. So line up those ribs on top of your hips. We're not leaning forward or back. Flip your front hand, inhale, exalted warrior. So you can look to the sky or you can look to that left pinky toe. Come back into your warrior two. Exhale, plant those hands down, right foot comes back. Your option for a vinyasa or wait in the dog. Right heel drops in, left foot comes forward. Inhale, warrior one. Hands on to your chest, open up, find your warrior two. So again, we're not reaching forward or back, hips on top or underneath our ribs. Arms are as level as we can, so looking back and forward. Flip your front hand, inhale, exalted warrior. Bend into that front knee, don't forget about that. Back into that warrior two. Windmill those hands down, left foot comes back. Option to take a vinyasa of your choice. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, let's take a child's pose. Wide-legged, or you can have your knees together and your hands back, whichever works for you. Good, come back into your tabletop, find your downward facing dog. Looking forward, bring yourself to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale down, come into your chair pose to come up. Finish off our second Surya Namaskar B. And bring it up, and hands through to heart center, find your Tadasana. Okay, let's add on to that. Inhale, Utkatasana. Chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands, feet come to the back of your mat. Find your plank position or wait in the down dog. Take a vinyasa if you choose. Left heel drops in, right foot comes forward. Inhale, warrior one. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Hands to heart center, open it up, find your warrior two. Inhale, right hand comes up towards the sky, left hand using it for support. Just make sure it's not on your knee. Come back into your warrior two, interlace your hands behind your back. Exhale, humble warrior. Let's come to that inside of that leg and bringing it down. So bring your head down towards the ground. If this is too much on your hips or your arms, you can always just place them on the ground. Try not to rest your belly too much on your thigh. Try to really push your feet into the mat for support rather than resting. Good. Inhale, come up into your warrior two. Exhale, windmill those hands down, taking yourself either into a down dog or take a vinyasa if you choose. Right heel drops in, left foot comes forward. Inhale, warrior one. Taking a full inhale and a full exhale. Good. Hands to heart center. Open it up. Find your warrior two. Flip your front hand. Inhale, exalted warrior. Bring it back into warrior two. Interlace your hands behind your back. Now flip your grip. So make it feel weird. Allow that brain to work. Good. So if it feels weird, you're doing it right. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, take that fold. Try not to let that left knee fall in. I know I'm guilty of that, so I've got to really focus on that. And again, if this is too much, you can always just bring your hands to the ground. If you keep weight in your back foot, I find it helps so that you're not just resting your belly on your thigh. Good. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Exhale, take those hands down. Bring that left foot back. You can either take a vinyasa or wait in the down dog. We will all meet in downward facing dog. Looking forward, bring your feet to the front of your mat. Lengthen as you inhale. Exhale to fold. Come up into the chair. And then bring yourself up and hands through to heart center. Good. Grab your block if you have one. Right foot comes to the back of your mat. Bring the block into the inside of that right foot. You're going to go into our Trikonasana, Utthita Trikonasana. So micro bend in that front leg, arms out to the side. Pop that left hip back. Exhale, reach forward. Left hand to the ground or your block, or right hand to the ground or your block, left hand to the sky. So your choice if you want to look up to the sky, center, or down, whichever feels good on your neck. People ask, what's the right way? Well, the right way is what's right for you. What feels good? Right? If it feels good to look, if it maybe feels awkward to look up because of your balance, but it feels okay in your neck, then if challenging yourself is right for you, then that's where you're going to look. If you don't want to fall and you're worried about it, then maybe just look at the ground. It's good to find that fine line between challenging yourself and feeling comfortable. Good. Grab your block, bring yourself up with you. We're going to flip our feet so that the left foot's facing forward. Bring that block to the inside of the left foot. Arms out to the side. Exhale, reach forward. Left hand to the ground, right hand to the sky. Again, your neck or head choice might look differently on this side, and that's fine. That is all right. Bring your hand up. Let's flip it over. So you can bring your block to the inside of that left foot, or maybe you're going to bring it to the right foot or outside of that right foot. We're going to twist it out. So this time our right foot's forward, left hand is coming forward. Exhale, reach first to create length, and then take the twist. So you might find you need to keep your hand on the inside, and right hand comes to the sky. You might even just tuck into your back pocket if that feels better. Grab that block, inhale, bring it up. Let's go to the other side. Exhale, reach forward with the right hand, and then twist it out. So either the inside or the outside of that foot. Grab that block, inhale, bring it up, and come to the front of your mat. So we're going to go into our side angle poses. So if you know you like your block, you can bring that with you. Right foot comes back. So kind of go into a warrior, warrior two. And then exhale, reach forward. Right hand comes down onto your thigh. Left hand sweeps down and up to create that side angle pose. So you can take the option that feels good for you. You can keep it here. Maybe you want to use your core. Maybe you want to bring that right hand down. If you want to take that bind, of course you can take that option as well. I'm going to take those options while I still can. Keep that left shoulder up, whatever you do. Good. Come back into your warrior two. Let's flip it out. Exhale, reach forward. Left hand comes down, right hand sweeps over and up. Option for your side angle. You can keep it here. You can hover. You can bring your hand down, or you can take that bind if it feels good. Just make sure the right shoulder's up to the sky. Left shoulder's down. Make a little more space this time. Good, come back into your warrior two. Good, and then bring that left foot to meet your right foot so that you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Arms up to the sky, or side. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold, slight bend in the knees. And then once you get down, you can release your hands. You can walk them back. You can put them on a block, whatever feels good for you. If you have teddy bear or headstand in your practice and you want to go for that, feel free to take those. If you're up, just come down. Good, lengthen halfway. I'm gonna take advantage of them while I still have balance to do them. Hands on your hips, so come up halfway. Exhale, inhale, come all the way up. Arms up to the side. Hands to your hips, so bring your elbows back. So hands more to your bum. Inhale, lift. Exhale to fold. Try to keep those elbows nice and high as you bend over. Inhale halfway. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms out to the side, interlace them behind your back. Roll your shoulder blades together. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, take the fold. Hands coming off your spine or sacrum. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, inhale all the way up and come to the front of your mat. Good, if you have a bolster, grab that, have that handy for our next stretches. Actually, let's take our standing posture while we're still up, and then we'll move our way to the ground. So we're gonna go into that figure four that we started with. So have your bolster or your block handy in front of you. So spread those left toes, lift them nice and wide. Spread the toes wide, and then start to shift your weight to your left foot. Take that figure four position with your right leg. And then you can keep it here. Maybe you can start to bring a bend. Okay, maybe you can bring your elbows to your legs. You might be able to bring your hands down to a block. You might even be able to bring them all the way to the ground. Good. If you know any Ashtanga versions of this or any balances, you are more than welcome to take them, like a flying pigeon. That is there for you. Or a toe stand, a single toe stand. Lots of variations if you know them. if you would like to take them. And then start to bend your knee and really try to use your balance and control to come up nice and slow. Nice and slow. Good, let's go to the other side. So spread those right toes nice and wide. Shift your weight into your right foot. Bring that left leg up into a figure 4. Hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Take your fold. If you feel like it, of course you can stand right there. Your hands might come to the ground or they might come to a block. Again, if you're taking a flying pigeon or a single toe stand or an Ashtanga wrap, some of you guys might know if you want to go there. Only if you know it, of course, and like to bring those into your practices. And then start to shift your weight back really into your foot, coming off your fingertips, and slowly come up. Good. All right. Inhale, scoop those hands up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant those hands. Now take your right foot back. And we're going to go into our lizard and dragon pose. Sorry. So for this posture, get a nice wide stance first, and then drop that back knee. And then I like to bring my hands on the inside. Some people like to keep them out, but I like to create a lot more space. And then see what feels good for you. Sometimes it feels better to actually go up to take a stretch. So you can grab that block, or you can just have your hands on your knees. You can keep it here. You might take your elbows down to a block or a bolster. You might take your elbows down to the ground, or you might just be able to relax against your bolster. See what feels good for you. I think today I'm on my elbows. So again, just take that release. Stretching into the inside of that leg. And then bring yourself up. Now start to walk that foot wider if you haven't already. And if you're able to, flip those toes. So bring your big toe off the mat so that your foot's at an angle, just to switch it up. And then come down again. And of course, if this doesn't feel good, just go back to where you were. Just come back into the posture that you had. Really getting into the hip. For those of you that know the twist, you can follow along with me. So bring yourself up, bend your back leg, walk that right hand underneath your face, and see if you can actually grab onto that back foot, and then look over the left shoulder. And then release. Bring those hands back. Press those hands into the mat. Start to push your right knee up. Swing the left foot back. You can take a vinyasa if you want, or just find a down dog. I like to wiggle and shake it out. And then bring that left leg forward. walk it back first, so really lengthen your stance first, and then drop that back knee. Of course, if you need padding, you can put a pillow or just double your mat up if it's too much on your left knee. And again, you might come up tall, bring your hands on your knee. You might bring your hands to a bolster or block. Maybe you stay high, maybe your elbows come down to a block or the ground. And then for the first one, try to hug that knee in. So it's out to the side, but it's not like flailing out. That's the second one, just getting into a different posture. And then bring your hands back up. So start to flip that foot if that feels good. Again, if you're at an angle, just make sure your knees and your toes are facing the same direction. So left toe is up. And then coming down if that feels good. Again, if this option doesn't feel good for you, you can just go back to your first position. And if you're wanting to get the quad stretch and it feels good, taking that left hand, walking it underneath your face, bending into your left leg, and grabbing on to that ankle. Try to shift forward. So the more weight that your back, so if you're back here, it's gonna be a lot on your knee. So really try to shift that weight forward so that your weight's more on your quad, like the top of your quad, or bottom of your quad that connects with the top of your knee. And then don't sink into it. Bring that chest up nice and tall. Release, walk those hands down, spread them nice and wide, push into your fingertips, untuck that left knee, bring it back, and again, you can take a vinyasa if you choose, or walk it out in the dog with me. All right, now bring yourself forward. We're going to be going into our fire leg pose. Depending on your flexibility, for some of you guys, you're just going to take a cross-legged pose, and this is going to be enough for you. If you're able to follow along with the fire log, and I need props quite a bit, so what you want to do is take your left foot and bring it so that the shin is parallel with the front of your mat. Okay, and then you're going to take your right leg on top. You're going to bring your right ankle to your right knee, and then try to bring the right knee to the, so right ankle to the left knee, right knee to the left ankle. So ideally your legs would look like this if they were stacked. So I have a little flyaway here, so I just like to tuck and prop. Some of you guys might have a couple props, right? And if you don't have props, you can just use a fist, or you can let them hang, or you can just go back into a cross-legged pose. You're still getting a hip stretch there. And then some of you guys are sitting like this and you're like, what's up? I'm totally relaxed and I envy you. All right, so a couple options to deepen our stretch. You can lean over to the right knee, or you can just start to walk forward. If you're cross-legged, I just encourage you to walk forward, and you should feel a stretch in your leg. Just remember which leg is forward or on top. And you might notice as you kind of sit into the pose, you might actually start to be able to remove props. I find for me, I'm able to do that once my body just kind of opens up a little. And then bring yourself up. So however you can, lean back, get out of the posture, maybe take some windshield wipers. And then if you're crossing your legs, just remember which leg was forward. So we're gonna do the opposite leg this time. If you're taking fire log, right leg would be coming down. Remember, shin is parallel with the front of your mat, like it's not tucked in, right? So it's almost as if you're preparing, kind of like a lotus, but not quite. And then again, so ankle to knee, knee to ankle, and prop as needed. You're gonna notice this side probably feels very different than the other. Might feel maybe your good side, might be your side that needs more work. And then when you're ready, you can either walk over your left leg or you can start to walk forward. Again, you may start to notice that you can take props away, or maybe you're adding props. Breathe into the stretch. And then bring yourself up. And you can start to release, so take some windshield wipers. And then we're going to be going into our Shavasana. So find a position that feels good for you. So on your back, some people like to go on their stomach or their side, and that is just fine. So again, we'll just close our sequence with a nice and easy Shavasana. Of course, if you need to finish your class with any posture like a back bend or an inversion, that is there for you. So just releasing, feeling the support of your mat. Feeling your shoulders supported, your spine. Allowing your feet to just hang where they naturally go. Fingertips are relaxed. They naturally curl. That's fine. Just let them do their thing. If you're noticing you're clenching your fists, though, try to release those out. You can stay here as long as you want. When you're ready, rolling over to the side of your choice in a fetal position, and then bring yourself up. Of course, please feel free to stay longer. I normally try to encourage at least 5 minutes. I'm just a little shorter for time. So bringing yourself up into your seated position, and you can either have your hands on your knees or to heart center. Just allowing your body to see how it feels. A lot of emotions tend to come up with hip openers. So just finding these last few moments where it's just you and your mat. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. Namaste.